Welcome to the show. So happy to have you with me here today. And today's topic is angel numbers. So what is angel numbers? I consider that to be sort of an angelic shorthand. So when angels want to get a message through to you, let's say they've been talking to you and you're not realizing that those thoughts in your head are your angel's messages, they're going to start looking around for other ways and they're going to experiment with what catches your attention. A lot of times people, when I tell them about angel numbers, they'll be gasping like, oh my gosh, I've been seeing 222 or, some series of numbers. And they thought it was a weird coincidence. Well, many things that come from angels and the signs and symbols can easily be written off as a coincidence when you don't know. But once you do realize that, then you can look a little deeper. So let's talk about this. It's series of numbers that angels send to you repeatedly, and it can be a number. It can be, usually it's triple and quadruple digits of the same number, but it doesn't have to be, and we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to tell you how this works. And just for instance, right before the show started, I looked at my email on my phone and I have 111 emails. So 111, that is a number. 111 and 1111 I have been seeing so often. We're going to talk about what that means, and when you're already on a spiritual journey, what it means. But when you keep seeing it on your phone, on clocks, license plates, whatever it may be, there's many, many different ways that angel numbers can show up. But the thing is, it's going to be the same series repetitively. A lot of times people will tell me, Ivory, I wake up at 2:22 every night or 3:33 every night. Well, both of those are very powerful times for, it's in the window of high psychic reception of information where you may get it awake or in dreams, and so you may have an easier time seeing and hearing your angels then. But if you're seeing those numbers, you're waking up and you're seeing those numbers, you're meant to look into what is the message hidden in those numbers. So it's not just the numbers themselves. So, here's another one. I don't want to forget this. A couple people told me that they get their angel numbers through now I talk about license plates, billboards, TV ads, given the same number for hotel rooms, reservation numbers. Like even in a reservation number, let's see, like I keep seeing 111, 1111, that you get a reservation number that ends with 111 or begins with 111. So keep your eye open for these, and we're going to go into what they mean. We can't go through all of them because there's a huge amount of numbers that you might possibly be seeing. So single and double digit numbers seen frequently can be signs, but as I say, it's usually more likely that it'll be triple and quadruple digits. So I want to talk about 0 first. So let's say you're seeing the number 0. You're unlikely to notice it, just a 0. That's not enough. So look for 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But zeros are angels giving you divine reassurance. And some other messages with that, it can also be that associated with new opportunities. So when you are witnessing 0 in a sequence, it could signify a fresh start. You're at the beginning of a brand new cycle, which means you can create whatever your heart desires. So don't be afraid to make big, bold decisions at this point in your journey. And let's go back to the number of digits. So if you're seeing a 0, then it's true for you. You see 2 zeros, it's more true for you. 3 zeros, expect a bigger opportunity. 4 zeros, boy, there's something amazing coming for you. These are not the only interpretations, but these are some common interpretations. If you're seeing 1, like I mentioned earlier, lately I'm back to seeing 111, 1111. 1 means keep your focus on the positive aspects of your life, but honestly, more importantly, it is a powerful manifestation number. It means that you are on the right path. It means expect a spiritual awakening. If you're already spiritually awake, expect a major shift forward on your spiritual journey. And I know, like, I can feel I'm at that point again in my journey, and I'm seeing them again. And it's just confirmation for me that what I'm feeling and sensing is absolutely true. So I'm ready for it, wherever the angels and God want to take me, I'm ready for that. Some more meanings for seeing the ones is relish the opportunity to make a wish, set an intention, plant a seed, as this is believed to indicate a green light from the universe. So let's say you want something, make it official and say, I intend that I receive this. I intend that I become this. No, don't put a timeline on it, just because they don't even understand what that means, but just the intention of precisely what you want. So when you do that, you're giving a green light to the universe, to your angels, to God, that you are ready for that. Because you can be thinking about something and mulling something over and not be ready for it. And your angels will know that. It can also mean you're working with extraordinary support from your angels, guides, or ancestors. So at that moment, you see that sign, the present and future are dynamically connected, and you may feel their presence. You may feel that extra support, that presence of these high level entities with you, beings with you. Let's talk about 2. And I want to say too that those ones are the most common angel numbers seen and noticed. 2s mean you're on the right path, exactly where you're meant to be at this time. It also suggests balance, trust, and alignment. So it could be that you've reached it and it's acknowledging. It could be saying it's time for you to achieve these things. Experiencing 2s in a sequence could mean that someone either in the physical realm or the spiritual domain is helping you get where you need to go, one of your guides. Seeing 2s can indicate it's an excellent time to reach out to your most trusted companion to see if divine collaboration is possible. There is no one interpretation fits all. And I'm going to tell you at the end of the show, I'm going to give you my favorite angel number site. I don't bother to memorize all the meanings of angel numbers. That's not my mission. It's not my purpose, but there's a wonderful site and lady who has done that for you. And I'll give you that information at the end of the show. But let's talk about 3s. So 3 is an indication of magnetic creativity. Noticing 3, it can be in a set of 3, 4, or within a pattern, could mean you have the opportunity to add your unique talents and abilities to a situation. So let's say you're starting a project, you're thinking about a new project. It's just letting you know you have what it takes to add something meaningful to it. Moreover, the presence of 3 3s indicates that by leaning into your innate gifts, whatever they may be, spiritual, non-spiritual, you'll find more value and abundance in whatever circumstances you are navigating. Your artistic expression is critical. So if you're an artist, if you write, if you are an idea person, and seeing the 3s is going to be really especially powerful for you because you already resonate within that realm of creativity. I think creativity is so important. Like, I'm not happy if I can't be creative. I can remember working, I was a director of mental health for the county I live in, and my supervisor sat me down for my review, and we're going over things, and she says, I have to say, you're the most creative person I've ever known. And I really am impressed with how you inject creativity into your role. I'm thinking that's because I need it so badly. I'm desperate to find a way to put it in there. So now I don't have to be desperate for it. It's so easy to be creative within the field I'm in now. So it's really a better fit for me even. Let's talk about 4s. 4s can mean that angelic healing is especially available to you right now. It's always available to you, but perhaps more so than usual. Yesterday, I did 2 angelic resonance healing sessions with some lovely ladies. And as I was doing one of them, Archangel Raphael came in so powerfully, and they stayed right behind her through the healing. And so that's a good instance. She probably has been seeing 4s. We didn't have time to get into that conversation, but she is reading my book, so she may ask about that. So 4 symbolizes stabilization. Again, it could be confirming that you've achieved it, or it could be saying you really need to work on your stabilization. Observing 4 is an angel number, whether it's in a set of 3, 4, or within a pattern, suggests you're in the process of grounding, rooting, and cultivating an infrastructure for yourself that's truly built to last. Isn't that lovely? Means you're gonna have stability and structure within yourself and your life, no matter what happens outside of it. When you're seeing these 4s, don't be afraid to ask for help or assistance with what you need, especially if you find yourself navigating long-term projects that require specific expertise. Remember that your main angels are going to call in additional angels and guides for you to help for specific reasons. Generally, they know exactly when you need help, but why not ask for it? What the heck? It's kind of like if you need help in any other situation, if you're stuck in a car in an overflowing, a river and you're afraid you're going to be swept away, are you going to sit there thinking somebody will see I need help? Or are you going to use your phone and call for help? Same thing. Fundamentally, this is about establishing trust that will empower you to reach new heights. Most people nowadays are really focused on not just opening themselves up spiritually, but also seeing how far they can go. I've never seen, in the years I've been doing this work, I've never seen so many people who are reaching to go higher, who want to be the best possible person, spirit, soul they can be in this lifetime, devoting themselves to it so one-mindedly. It's really impressive. It's beautiful. It makes my heart get so warm and my soul sings, because that's another sign that we really are in ascension as a planet. So there's some meanings for number 4. Let's talk about number 5. Seeing 5s means it could be that it's an ideal time for a change in your life. Again, change is the one thing we can all rely on. It's happening all around us. Usually it's kind of slow, so you don't notice it. And sometimes it's wham, boom, there's the change, and it's, then you got to adjust to it. But change is all around. So never be afraid of change. It's part of life. Seeing 555 or 5555 can mean means that major changes are on the horizon for you. You might feel that too, like I do right now. I feel that. If you've been feeling stuck, stifled, kind of in a rut, uninspired, then it can reveal that seeing that number can reveal that massive shifts might be in the works for you. And that's why you start feeling stifled, because it's time for you to make a change of some kind. Doesn't have to be a huge one. You don't have to turn your life inside out and upside down all the time because you feel you need a change. For now, these transformations may be occurring behind the scenes. And again, those are those changes that happen slowly and you don't even notice they're happening. But in other words, key decision makers are still weighing options. So let's say I had this dream the other night. This is interesting. I had it's not even a dream. It's like a waking psychic insight that a publishing company was going to contact me, and they're going to want to buy the book I wrote for another publishing company who's got it in archives. They don't know when they're going to publish it. And it's really weird. Like, I would not have that thought. I would not have any thought about that book. I got paid for it, life moves on. But then I talked to my business partner about it, and she's like, I see that happening, and I have seen it happening for a while about that book. So that's like, both of us sense there's something happening behind the scenes. I started thinking of that book again. So that's the kind of thing you might experience when you're seeing 555s. You've been thinking about something, you've had some little intuitive hits about it. Things are happening, you just don't see it happening yet. The more 5s you see, the closer that change and the bigger change is coming for you. And again, change does not have to be a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And so being open to change and taking a different approach to what change means and what it means for you is very helpful. So you're not resistant, because in those changes, that's how you're growing. That's how you're moving ahead spiritually. That's how new opportunities come to you. If you say, I don't want anything to change, you're shutting yourself down. You're closing yourself off to wonderful new changes. So what does it mean if you're seeing 6s? It can mean reduce your focus on material items and making money. And boy, that is a big one. I started seeing that, oh gosh, how many years? Going on 20 years ago. And I just suddenly felt like I need to start selling things, giving things away. And I got rid of so much. I'm still doing it. It's a weekly ongoing thing that I do. And eventually I'll have so little things that I can move to a really small house, which suits me just fine. So this can be a long process. And just because you stop seeing the numbers doesn't mean that you'll lose the desire or the knowledge that it's time for you to shift priorities. If you're too focused on material things, including making money, you are grounding yourself into the third dimension. The third dimension is about worldly pleasures, and that includes money and possessions and sex, anything like that, worldly 3D kind of pleasures. By releasing yourself from that, not that you don't care if you make enough money to support yourself, save a little and have a little fun, but it's not the most important thing in your life. Having things is not the most important thing in your life. You start to increase your frequency. And as your frequency goes up, you shift up into the next higher dimension. You want to get at least into the fifth dimension, where you rise above a lot of these low level frequencies and emotions and issues that are happening. So let's talk more about six. Some people associate seeing 666 with some demonic entity, demonic figure, but no, it's also an angel number. So don't freak out if you get sixes. So it means it's supportive, compassionate. You have a supportive, compassionate, and empathetic nature. Six can be a gentle, much needed reminder to treat yourself with more kindness and understanding. Sure, things may not always go according to plan. They rarely do, right? What is that saying? Make plans and God laughs. But with angel number six on your side, you know that you can choose how you want to interpret a situation, remembering that everything happens for a reason. It really does. And I know people push back against that. They get very angry. I've had horrendous things happen to me and family members in my lifetime. I get how that can be a really hard thing to wrap your head around. But I've had so many spirits tell me from the other side, for other people, and I didn't know anything about these people or this deceased spirit, but they said, I died when I was supposed to die. I helped you do X, Y, Z. My death helped you do this. My death inspired you to do this. That's just one example. There's so many other things, people dealing with pain and illness. And they're like, how can that be for a reason? But it is. But we must not focus too much on that. Just know that seeing sixes, patterns of sixes, is not demonic. So don't worry. But it does mean be more gentle, focus on your empathic abilities, be supportive of people, be compassionate, just a reminder of that. And the reminder that you have that within you, and don't underestimate the importance and necessity of those particular gifts. They are gifts. Okay, let's move on to sevens. Seeing sevens can mean right now you are fortunate. It's a lucky time for you to take a calculated risk. We're going to dive more into this. Experiencing seven means that good fortune, particularly with finances, could be on the way. New monetary opportunities are more likely to arise. So seven invites you to branch out and explore the possibilities beyond your current comfort zone. Short-term gigs may become lucrative. Consistent income streams, second streams of income, passive income. So integrating your spirituality with your values is the perfect expression of this energy. It does not mean necessarily that you're going to receive $10,000 lump sum. It's a new opportunity, not a gift of money, but an opportunity. And so be looking for that opportunity, and perhaps it'll come in a form that you are not expecting, you would have not considered. And yet, if it's being given to you after receiving these angelic numbers as signs, you need to give it some consideration, serious consideration, because your angels are telling you you're meant to take that opportunity. You're meant to go with that, explore it, see how it goes. Sometimes the things I've done in life that I didn't think I was going to be interested in at all have been some of the most long-term uh, ways of making money, or things that feed my soul, passions for me that I did not anticipate. A good example of that is when my angels told me to take medical qigong energy healing many years ago. I didn't even know what energy healing. I hadn't even taken Reiki at that point. I didn't know what it was, but they were adamant. I'm like, okay. I was a single mother. It was just me. I didn't have any family in town, but my daughter was old enough that she could stay home Saturdays while I went to this 4-hour class on Saturdays, and it was all summer long. So it was a big commitment, but it opened me up to my spiritual journey. It opened me up to this work. It propelled me forward to finally start accepting my gifts and going, okay, I'll do readings. I'll do psychic readings. I'll help people. I'll do healings. I did many, many healings on people for a very long time. So you just don't know, why you are given an opportunity, but if it's presented to you, take it, or at least strongly consider it. Let's go on to eights. If you're seeing eights, generally it's going to be 3 eights or 4 eights. It means you're attracting abundance and prosperity. Yay, bring on those eights, right? One of the most divine numbers in numerology is 8. It is the same as the infinity symbol. It can reflect a connection to the spiritual universe in a very powerful way. Those who believe in the afterlife may see eights as a sign that they're receiving support from loved ones who crossed. Fundamentally, 8 is the symbol of infinity again, the endless loop that transcends any singular lifetime. So don't be afraid to dive into your intuition when this angel number appears. Sometimes that angel number, the 8s, I have seen associated with people it's time for them to look into past lives. And sometimes when they've been seeing that, if it's about past lives, they'll have already been having some flashes that confuse them, or they've got a phobia they've never been able to discover the root for in this lifetime, or they've met someone that they feel such a powerful connection to and they can't explain it. There's just nothing logical there, and they're seeing the 8s. So just be aware of that as well. It's not listed out there commonly, just something I've seen in my work. Let's go on to 9s. Can mean this is an excellent time to act on your dreams. If you're like me and you have powerful, clear dreams, mine are like being awake. I don't get a whole lot that tell me something to do. I get more premonition dreams, but if you're getting information in your dreams that are suggesting or telling you to take a certain path, to make a certain choice, it's a good time to follow that if it's reasonable for you. So it's the final digit. 9 is the final digit in numerology. It suggests that a chapter may be coming to an end for you. As we always say, when one door closes, another door opens. So the end of a chapter means the beginning of the next chapter. So it's nothing to be sad about or afraid about or nervous. Witnessing 9 as an angel number is a sign that a meaningful cycle could come to a close, and you'll soon be beginning a brand new journey. That can be about any aspect of your life. And perhaps when you start seeing this, chances are you're already having a thought that something's coming to an end. Sometimes you don't want it to come to an end. It's very possible. And sometimes, you just feel like you're still enjoying it. I don't want to walk away. That's how I felt about my mental health career when my angels said, now, Ivory, you got to leave here. You're going to move across the mountain. You're going to live in Sedona. You're going to do your spiritual work under your own name and showing your face. And I freaked out. Like, I had really hidden that for so long because of my mental health career, and I didn't want that to affect my work or my reputation. They are not open to things like that as a rule in the mental health field. So it really was very scary. And it was one of the hardest times for me, for just stepping out on that limb, literally taking a step of faith, a leap of faith, I should say. And everybody comes to places like that in their life. It can be in your personal life with a relationship. It can be with a job. It can be with a family member. It can be a hobby that you've really liked, or a social group that you're supposed to be done with now. It's okay. You're going to grieve that. The end of anything, there's always some grieving, but just anticipate something wonderful coming in. You're working on yourself. If you're watching the show now, you're working on yourself as a person and spiritually. So you're open to where your angels take you, or you wouldn't want to watch this show, right? So know that this is just a way that angels can help you and guide you. Another thing with the nines is it can be an excellent time to step outside of your comfort zone, expand your horizons, explore new territory. So maybe it's time for you to expand your circle of friends. Maybe it's time to take up a new hobby. For me, it's always like, I'm going to learn to play a new musical instrument. And I have a whole room full of them here because I just can't stop that. And it could be anything. You could be guided to travel. It is so many things. I remember when somebody I knew very well had never been out of Arizona, except when they briefly lived in New Mexico. And then they went on a cruise, and they went because their spouse was going. And they actually, like, little by little, really relaxed and enjoyed it. And then they were open to travel. So, don't, just because you're nervous and unsure about something doesn't mean it's going to end badly or it's not the right thing for you. So do allow yourself just to stretch out a little bit, try new things. Whether you're interested in venturing into a new career or going back to school, the spiritual universe is going to be sure to support your courageous choices. And it does take courage. It takes courage to change who you are, to change your life. But you have to come to a place where you trust your own intuition. Call it gut instinct. It's the same thing. You trust the guidance you get from your angels in all different ways. And so it makes it easier to take those steps into the unknown. So I'm just do some real brief ones for some of these other numbers. 10, if you're seeing tens, and usually it'll be like 10, 10. Step forward into new beginnings with optimism. So if something's presented to you and you're not sure, just know it's going to be fine. A new job, whatever, new relationships, going to be really good for you. Seeing 11s, again, your intuition will help you make the right decision, or we're coming up again on your expect a spiritual awakening or a big launch forward further on your journey. Seeing 13s, we're skipping 12, but going to 13, you're shifting forward faster on your spiritual journey. So there's two that can mean that. 11 or 11, 11, 11, sorry, 1, 1, 1 or 11, 11, if you're already on a spiritual journey, can mean expect to shift forward. So can 13s. And then 22, I thought I'd share this one with you. Success is coming. Whatever that is for you, whatever projects you've been working on, success is coming for you. I love these because it's really fun to just talk to people. When I'm doing the Meet Your Angelic Guide sessions with people, one of the things angels will sometimes talk about is angel numbers. They'll say, we're giving you numbers. And I'll tell them, and they'll say, do you know what angel numbers are? And if they don't, well, this is a whole new exciting adventure for them, because I give them the website I'm going to give you, and they can go check it out every time they are seeing it. And inevitably, they've been seeing the same numbers. Now, those numbers change. Lately, I'm seeing, in the last few days, I'm seeing a lot of 111 and 1111. But before that, I was seeing the 333. It changes because the messages your angels are sending to you through these numbers changes, right? And when you look it up, you already know what that means, and you get it, and you receive the message consciously, you'll stop getting that until the next time they want to use that as a little shorthand message to you, a sign for you. So you can be excited to see these numbers repeatedly, but if you're not getting the message, you just know something's happening, but you have no idea. So this is going to be a game changer for you if you didn't know about this. The more numbers repeat, the more critical the message is for you. Remember that they use these numbers, the angels use them to get your attention when you can't hear them. So if you haven't yet learned how to hear, you haven't been able to remove that barrier, as I address in my book, of pulling down barriers so you can hear your angels talking to you as thoughts in your head, then this is a good way for you to get messages while you're working on that skill. So you don't have to go with nothing. And oh my gosh, watch an earlier show where I talked about signs, angel signs. There's a wide range of ways that your angels give you signs and symbols. This is just one of them. And in my book, there's a whole chapter about how angels communicate. This is just a sub chapter of it. So there's so many other ways, but don't lose hope if you haven't been able to hear them or you don't think you're hearing them. It's not connecting yet. You can still get guidance this way. If your angels feel you must receive a message, they're going to bump up the number of times you see it in a more vigorous attempt to get your notice. And sometimes they're going to do that even when you do connect, because I have to say, I very clearly see when I'm getting an angel number and I know it right away. And still, those ones are coming 111, 1111, like right before the show. I do have a go-to site for angel numbers. And I'm going to give that to you now. I'm not going to give you the URL because it's really long. So I just tell you, go online and do a web search. Put these words in: angel numbers, Joanne Scribe, scribes with an S, and Joanne, Joanne, lovely woman. And she put the site together that goes all the way from 0 to 10,000. And what I love about this site, number one, the first time I found it, the angels came in. Oh my gosh, I feel them now as I'm talking about it. Angels started coming in and I felt their energy surrounding me and it got so strong. They love this site. And so I would look up to see for a client or for myself what those numbers, specific numbers meant. And she gives about 3 possibilities. And I love that because, again, it's not a one message fits all. We're each in different places in our lives, in our spiritual journey. We're facing different things. So she's got about 3 different meanings. And you'll go in and you read one and you don't feel, it doesn't connect. You read the second one and it's like, wow, yes, that's the one. I feel that one. That's true for me. You just know. And the third one, maybe you don't feel anything. That's one of the things I love about her site. I will tell you, it is not a spectacular looking site, but who cares? You know, it's stripped down. It gives you the information you need, and the angels say it is accurate. So though she's not doing that site anymore, she left it up there for people to benefit. I have her permission to put in my book to talk about it. She knows I'm a big fan of her site, that it's my go-to for myself and for clients. So see what happens for you. I think that she's created this fantastic site. And again, I don't memorize angel numbers because of sites like Joanne's. And I encourage you, don't waste your mental abilities memorizing things that there's a good resource for. If you have a book about it, you can look it up. Use your mental resources for new thoughts, for creativity, for remembering things that you created. You know, I just think there's no point to memorizing things that are on a website already. So I'm going to be curious to hear how some of you have been receiving angel numbers. Those of you who already knew about it, you're going to have some great stories, and you probably are going to be able to talk about what happened when you followed that, the message below the numbers, within the numbers, I should say. But for those of you who the concept of angel numbers is new, as you're watching or listening to this show today, listening, most people are, then this is going to be something that's going to help you start focusing on them. You'll see them and it won't just be, oh, interesting, I just saw that earlier today. You're going to be like, oh, I think I'm getting an angel number. Once your attention's drawn to it like that, you receive more of it. You'll keep receiving it until you get the message. So go to Joanne's site. And what is her name again? Her name is only fair. Her name is Joanne Wormley. I just know Joanne Scribes, but her real name is Joanne Wormley. Lovely lady. Check it out and see what's there and spread the word. You know, oh my goodness, spread the word to people you know, especially if they're already on a spiritual journey, they have a connection to angels, they're very spiritual, or they just love angels. They're going to really enjoy knowing that they've been receiving messages from their angels all along. They're not forgetting you. It's kind of like a teacher. And I've had several teachers tell me this, so it brought it to my mind. Teachers work like this. When they're teaching students, they start with their preferred method of teaching. And if one of the students it's not reaching them, then they come up with another method and see if that message will be received by the student in this new way. Nope, let's try this way. It's the same way with angels. They're very patient with us. Okay, they're not hearing what I say, so I'm gonna give this human some inner pushes to do something. You're gonna suddenly feel like I gotta go to this spiritual circle, or I need to talk to that person. I need to get this session. I need to read a book. I need to see a movie. You don't know why, but you feel that. And if that's not working and you're not following that guidance, you're just thinking, what a weird thought. Where did that come from? And you leave it at that. Then they might go to angel numbers and all the other ways that they give signs. So it's just another way that they're trying to reach you. I also equate this with the way that I do mediumship with spirit. My job as a medium is to figure out how a spirit best communicates. So some deceased people are better at talking. Some are better at showing pictures. Some are better at letting me know things. And some are really good at letting me feel things in my body associated with their death or their health. So in the first 10 minutes, I'm generally experimenting a little bit on the different techniques and figuring out which one they do best with, and then proceeding using their best skills. Different spirits have different skills on the other side. It's no different here. Different humans have different skills. We have different levels of awareness for what can happen, how it happens, and whether we receive it. What helps a person receive angelic messages, such as angel numbers, is awareness of how they can happen, is awareness that they are coming to you regularly, whether you believe or not. It's kind of like, it doesn't matter if you believe in God because God believes in you. It doesn't matter if you believe in angels because they're there for you and helping you regardless. It doesn't matter. So if you don't feel connected to angels, you don't feel that inner push to improve your communications, okay, it's not what's right for you right now. And I respect that, and anybody should, So it's each to each his own. However, your angels are not going to stop giving you guidance. They're not going to stop guiding you in whatever way works. So for a lot of you who say you've never received guidance, the truth is you have, and you've probably followed it and didn't even know it. And it's only upon your awareness level growing that you can look back and see moments in your life that you realize, I don't know why I did that. I just felt like I had to do it. And then you have one of those epiphany moments that are so exciting where literally it feels like this. It's not like a light bulb goes on over your head. That's a joke, but it does feel like this kapow. And then I feel like there's this glow that comes around that's just like, of realization that, oh my gosh, the reason I didn't know it at the time, the reason I took medical Qigong energy healing was because my angels told me to take it, because it was back in the times of newspapers were the main way people got news before the internet, long before the internet. So I had the newspaper and I was looking through to see fun things I could take my daughter to, or just interesting things happening in the community. And I saw that ad for the local community college, like take medical Qigong energy healing. And it was like I zeroed in on it and I just had to take it. So do a little self-reflection for yourself, looking back on your life, not only just recently, but all through your life. Thinking back to things you did that you can't explain why you did it. Another instance of that would be, there's so many times that I was supposed to leave my office or leave my relative's house or even my own house and go somewhere. And I heard, you don't need to be in such a rush. Wait 15 minutes, wait 30 minutes. And I'm like, I really wanted to be on the road at a certain time, but I just did it, didn't question it. And then especially where I live, to get down to Phoenix, you have to go down these very steep, winding mountain roads. And if there's an accident, there's nowhere else to go. You're just stuck. Yeah, there was a serious accident multiple times between where I was going and where I was coming from. And it was usually about the time that I likely might have been in it or at least stuck behind it for an extensive period of time. So even on something like they don't want you to sit in traffic in excessive heat for a long time or excessive cold, and they tell you just wait a little bit. If you can do it, there's a reason your angels give you this. I bet you when you, I don't want to say I bet you because I'm not going to bet you, but I would almost guarantee that every single person listening to this show, watching this show, can find moments in their life where things like that happen that they can't explain why they made the decision they did, but they can see the benefit they received by listening to it. And those are the moments when your angels were talking to you, giving you signs, giving you that inner push to do something or not do something. That also goes with when you meet somebody and they seem perfectly nice, perfectly good person, but you feel like you just want to pull back and there's something wrong there. And that is your angels telling you, no, this person is not good for you. There's something hidden here. There's something that's not going to be for your best and highest good. Listen to that. You don't have to hear the words. You got that feeling and you don't have to understand it. If you try to seek to understand it, your logic will overrule the guidance you're getting from your angels and your own intuition. It could go either way with a feeling like that. It could be your angels, it could be intuition, but sometimes those are very hard to decipher when you're getting a strong feeling you can't explain. But do think back. Let me know about the angel numbers you're seeing. And if you've been seeing them and you knew what they were, what happened when you followed them. You heed those angel number signs, guidance. And I'm always interested in hearing. You can send your message to the show, to the discussion comments. You can email them to me. My email is in the discussion for this show, wherever you're watching it. And you're always welcome to come on the show live and ask your questions about or share your story about a previous topic or about that week's topic. I absolutely love hearing from all of you. And I was telling B, who's here live in the group, how delighted I was. She shared a story with me about her recent success with angels, seeing her angels. And I just was crying. I was so happy for her when she told me about it. Don't be shy. You make my day. Come back next Sunday. The topic is setting effective boundaries. This is one that I've had a lot of requests for, a lot of experience with. So especially if you have toxic people in your life, narcissists, people who are very difficult, this is going to be very helpful for you moving forward and dealing with them or deciding whether it's time to not deal with that person anymore. So I'll help you with that. In the meantime, may your angels surround you. May your angels protect you every day, every moment of your life. I'll see you next Sunday.